So hi, this is the binder that I got from Erica Siskren from Sweden. I also purchased this little spinny thing, which is really cool and I like it a lot. And I got a bunch of this because it is already cut and works well, fits in the binder. It's a little bit stretchy. I think it's probably cotton. Knit binding. Cool. So I have just attached this with this kind of goo that looks like bubble gum because I didn't have the plate. And it took me several tries to get it correct. So let's see. I started out with this. Can you see that? Okay. So fail. And then we got like pretty good. And now we have it where it's working pretty well. And I originally had been doing it with the wide cover stitch that wasn't working very well with this width of binding. So to show you how it works. All right, here I have a 35mm binder. It is a tri-fold, which means that it is finished on the top of the fabric and then it goes around and is unfinished on the back. But if you're using a cover stitch, the cover stitch will cover that raw edge. So to demonstrate that, what the tri-fold will do, it's gonna fold it twice on top and then once on the bottom. So you have one finished edge here and raw right here that hopefully, if you're doing it right, will be covered by your cover stitch machine. It has these two screws that are related to these teeth. If you wanted more fabric showing on top, you could lengthen this, or if you wanted more fabric going underneath, then you could lengthen this one. But I haven't touched either one of them because I'm new at this. So this is what it will end up looking like with the 35mm. You get about a 1/2 inch binding. Okay, this interlock binding, about 10 meters of it is $7 on her website. And this handy dandy spinner is about $20. To get ready, you would take this binding and just give it a nice little corner for you to grab. Put that there. The binder itself, all by itself, would be $37. And I ended up getting a package deal that had the binder, the spinner, a marking tool, and 2 things of binding for $73. The shipping, I think that's with the shipping including actually, and it arrived in only 10 days from Sweden, so pretty cool. So as you can see, I kind of wove it around there, putting it in here. This is probably the trickiest part. Gonna go in. Not too bad though. So now that I have it through, I'm gonna kind of put it in place. I have kind of a good guess of where it's gonna go because I put it on before and just made a little mark there for myself. Now, as far as how close you're supposed to get to the foot, I've got, I don't know, maybe a little over 1/2 inch, maybe 5/8 space in there. And so you're going to just kind of pull it and it will get to the point where it folds itself there. But you could also kind of help it a little bit. Okay, so now it's folding and now I have to line this up. So I want my leftmost needle to be on the inside edge of the binding. So I'm just scooching that And then kind of pressing my little bubble gum stuff. And to check, you're going to put your foot down. And if it looks decent from there, go ahead and put your needles down. Now this is looking pretty good. So I'm going to test it by doing a little stitching here. All right, now when I did that, it did fall off the edge, so I'm going to go ahead and pick it up and maybe just give it a tiny scooch that way. Again, kind of give it a check. And that is looking good. So now I can put in my sample. I just kind of put it in there about 3/4 of an inch or so. Supposed to try to go slow. All right, let's see how we did. I'm a little bit too close on this edge, but this is how it ended up on that go. So I'm going to adjust it and try it one more time, see if we can get a better sample out of there. Just going to push. When I was doing it the first time, I learned that you just need to make teeny tiny adjustments instead of big ones. I think that one looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Show you here. Look at that one's perfect. And on the back side, it is just barely covering the raw edge. So that's a good look. So while I'm here, I'm going to show you one more little thing. It's just a favorite tool. It's the Susan Bates handy tool. It's 4 inches, and I think they're like $2 on Amazon, but I love it that it has this little hook. Of course, with the binder, you're always having a bunch of stuff in the way. But look how easy I can pick up my 2 threads. Ta-da!